So if you are a boxing fan, then you must have watched the movie Rocky. Rocky is a boxing movie and is considered as one of the best boxing movies to be ever made. I am also one of those who consider it to be one of the best boxing movies ever made. So while watching Rocky, I actually came to think that there should be an anime adaptation of Rocky or something similar to it. And then I came across this anime called the Fighting Spirit or Hajime no Ippo in Japanese, if I'm spelling the Japanese name correct. So this anime revolves around our main character, as the name suggests, Ippo. So our main character Ippo Makanouchi, it's kinda hard to say Japanese name. So just like Rocky, our main character in this anime, Ippo also starts his journey, training and gets himself involved into the pro boxing career and his opponents and the fights between them. So if you've seen the Rocky movies, or should I say Rocky movie franchise, then you must have noticed that Rocky doesn't actually start with zero boxing skills. He was actually a pretty decent boxer from the very start of the franchise. Then later he takes his boxing career seriously after he was challenged by Apollo Creed. Then this movie shows us our main character's training arc, and then we get to the main awesome fighting scenes. But in case of Ippo, we see him being a teenager high schooler who has zero fighting or boxing skills. The dedication or his goal to become a boxer actually starts when he was ganged up by a group of bullies and he was bullied and beaten by them, and then a character named Takemura comes and saves his day. So from there, our main character Ippo gets the inspiration or motivation to actually enter the career of pro boxing. As in the beginning of anime, we see that Ippo is a high schooler and a part-time fisherman who actually does the family fisherman job that his family was doing from generations, or at least so does the anime tells us. So this anime doesn't show you directly non-stop fighting, but actually elaborates the fighting into various fighting styles, fighting techniques, stamina, footsteps and many other things that actually pro boxers would understand better than me, so I can't actually explain it that good to you. Well, steps and techniques aside, this anime actually kind of reminds me of Naruto. It gives me the same vibe I was getting while watching Naruto. Do you remember how in Naruto, our main character Naruto Uzumaki starts as a loser with no skills and one of the weakest character in that anime, and then slowly he works harder and gets through his training arc, and then he slowly develops into a better character, gets his character development and also gets stronger through physical training. So similarly in this anime, we can also see our main character Ippo do the same things, and the trainings in this anime are actually pretty accurate and good enough. Do you know that every other boxers, fighters or wrestlers have to maintain their physique and diet few weeks or few days before the match starts, and those weeks and days are actually pretty tough for them, and those situations are actually replicated, or should I say shown pretty correctly in that anime. And also if you watch this anime, then it will kind of give you a motivation to work out. Although Rocky is a masterpiece and it has almost won the heart of various people in the world, but I think Ippo is a little bit better than Rocky. You might be thinking how. So in the movie franchises of Rocky, we see the movie starts simple, every other movie, and then in the mid segment of movie a crisis starts, which leads to a boss fight, or should I say boss boxing matchup between the main villain of that movie, which leads to a glorious fight and the movie ends. But we actually needed a bigger story, like a bigger oversight to the backstory of the opponent that our main character is fighting, but Rocky actually fails to give us that, and the story is pretty rushed. As it is a movie, I'm not blaming it to be rushed because it is a movie and it can't show everything in a 2 hour or 1.5 hour movie. That's where Ippo gets the win. It has very long runtime as it is a series and it can go on and on by creating many episodes. That's where you get emotionally attached to not only main character Ippo but also his opponents. There were some times that I was cheering for both Ippo and his opponent, and I was in a kind of situation that I want both of them to win and none of them to lose. That's a kind of feeling that only masterpieces can create in your heart. Well, anyway, should you watch this anime or not? So if you ask me, then yeah, you should actually watch this anime. It is a must watch anime for every other action, boxing or any other kind of wrestling or fighting show enjoyers. You should watch this anime as it depicts our almost accurate fighting strategies and fighting outcomes in this anime. I myself have been enjoying this anime so far, and yeah, I'm not going to spoil you about anything in this anime. You should watch it for yourself and it is a pretty great anime. Although the animation quality might seem a pretty old, as it is a very old anime, but once you start watching this anime, you will get hooked to it, and I am pretty sure about that. Anyway, if you have enjoyed my video this far, then why don't you watch this video on top 10 must watch anime that you must watch before you die. And yeah, before you go, subscribe to my channel.